Hello and welcome to Baseplate Reviews. So today I should have all 12 of the most recent minifigure series, so series 27, and I say should because I have used the minifig scan app, you can see it on my phone just there, to be able to scan the QR codes on the bottom of these boxes, so not the barcodes but actually the QR codes. Should be able to see it just down there, and I have scanned all of these. Took a bit of persuading at my local Walmart store here in Canada. They didn't have these out on the shelves, but I could see they were ready to be picked up in the store if I ordered them online, so I knew they were in there somewhere. So I went for a brand new case of these, picked out all 12, and these are kind of numbered, so should be going from the Hamster Costume Fan through to number 12, the Steampunk Inventor over there. What I will do is I'll open these up and film the actual figures, and I'll also give you an update on just how accurate that scan was to see if it got all of them right. I found it to be pretty accurate in the past. There we go then, so I did have all 12 minifigs, and that was thanks to the minifig scan app, which is pretty useful. It does have this series on there, plus if we go to the list, it has, like I say, series 27 plus the Dungeons & Dragons and series 26 Space and series 25 on there. Plus you can see it allows you to record which minifigs you've actually already collected. I think that's pretty useful. That means if there are any here that you're really not interested in, you just don't like, or any that you want multiples of, you can use it to find out what's in the box without having to weigh the box or shake the box or even open the box, as I think we've seen pictures of when the first boxes were used instead of the bags. We saw people opening the boxes in store. So yeah, much better solution. But let's get to each of these minifigs. Starting off with the Hamster Costume Fan here then, and really nice headpiece. I think the legs, we've got them in the short legs just here, really cool too. Some nice touches on the feet just there. Also we've got the pink hands, we've got the cucumber slices in the 1x tile as well, so some really nice touches. Have to say the torso though just looks a little muddy to me, doesn't look as white as it should be, and also just not quite feeling this costume character as I have some in the past. Do have to note the head also looks better actually when it's off and by itself. You can see those teeth quite a bit better. Overall decent one, but just not quite feeling it. Onto the Wolfpack Beastmaster now, and I think this is going to be a lot of people's favourite. Throwback to a sub-theme of Castle from 1992 to 1993, so some real nostalgia bait in there, but this character just, I'm not sure how it could be better really. Absolutely fantastic accessories with that sword and shield, plus the cloak. We're also getting the hood as well, and then also the wolf, which is executed absolutely perfectly. But on top of that, you've got an awesome face, awesome secondary facial expression. I think that's him doing a howl to the rest of the wolf pack. On top of that, I think you've got a really nice callback to one of the original minifigs. We can see the minifig here has got a scar across his left eye. One of the original ones from 92, 93 actually had a patch over his left eye. So maybe this is the character before he needed the patch, or maybe afterwards it's his eyes recovered a little bit. Just an absolutely top tier minifig, almost certainly the highlight of this series for me. Tricky to follow up that Wolfpack Beastmaster, but we've got the Jetpack Racer trying to do just that, and this is one that has absolutely fantastic torso and leg printing, especially on the sides. We've got the Octan bit on his leg just down there. Not allowed to have that for modern day fossil fuel vehicles, but apparently fine for a futuristic Jetpack Racer. The jetpack itself is actually what lets this one down. It's pretty perfunctory, could just about tell what it is, but definitely not the best. The helmet's pretty good, the head, the face, decent enough, and we do get an alternate expression This is a really unique one. Be interesting to see if anybody can do any builds which show this off rather than just displaying it by itself. After that, we've got the Telescope Kid. First thing you'll probably notice about the minifigure itself is actually the prosthetic hand. So we've got that bright blue prosthesis. In terms of the actual torso and the legs, nothing too special there. We do get a kind of a space design on the torso. I do like the hair and the secondary facial expression, showing them looking through the telescope is really decent. Probably the best thing about this one though is the actual telescope itself. Really simple build, but that brand new piece forming the tripod of the telescope is absolutely amazing. Be interesting to see what other sets that appears in this year. On to the Plush Toy Collector now, and this is one of my favourites in this series. Obviously we've got those awesome plush toy accessories. Apparently these are going to be in some other sets, some different ones, not these two, not the blue and green. The actual minifig themselves, nice torso and legs forming a onesie. We can see that when we look at the back of the minifig with the hood going down. The hairpiece is really nice as well. I think this is the first time we've seen it in this colour. Definitely have seen the hairpiece before, I think in maybe some Ninjago, Monkey Kid and Lunar New Year sets. Overall, I think this is a really nice one, really unique. And yeah, I'm a big fan personally. Now for the Pterodactyl Costume Fan, actually adding on to a couple of minifigs that we've had before with the T-Rex and the Triceratops, I believe. The highlight of this one actually probably isn't the costume itself, it's actually the face of the minifig with the kind of lipstick which matches up really well with the costume. Overall, really solid one. I don't think it's anything absolutely amazing, but definitely a really solid one to the series. Over halfway through then, and we get our minifigure, which I think is probably best placed to go straight into a city layout with the Longboarder. Actually a bit of a throwback to the very first series of minifigures where we had a skateboarder. This one's got really nice backpack there, and I think the printing all really on point. Probably the highlights are the hairpiece with the backwards cap and also that really unique longboard. I think this one's really solid again. Decent facial expressions, although nothing too special. Do get the plaster or band-aid on the left cheek though, both facial expressions. Again, another really solid one and could easily fit into a city. Number 8, and we've got the Bogeyman minifig. This isn't like the previous two costume characters. The actual headpiece here is the head, is not a minifig head inside. So that's definitely really unique. There's some nice torso and leg printing, got the claws on the feet just there as well, and we do get a nice accessory in the book with the big boo on the front of it, and we do get a nice 1x2 tile on the inside with the Bogeyman himself shown. Overall, I think this is absolutely fine. I'm personally not feeling it, but I'm sure there's going to be some people who can do some really unique dioramas or something. On to our next one, and this is Cupid. Really timely release of this in January with Valentine's Day just about to come up. I think probably the most unique bit of this one is the wings. I think they're a brand new part, and also obviously the facial expression, the primary one with those love heart eyes. I actually find them a little bit disturbing, remind me of the bad guy in Roger Rabbit when his eyes go all crazy. That's a good idea. Let's have a Roger Rabbit themed series of minifigures. Now that really would be going somewhere. How are they going to do Jessica Rabbit? Some nice torso printing in this one. Sidearm printing. I actually much prefer his secondary facial expression, bit more normal, and really nice hairpiece as well. I'm sure people are going to be able to do plenty with this one. On to our 10th minifig then, and this is the Pirate Quartermaster. This is a real personal favourite of mine, even though I don't think that the printing is quite as on point as some of the other minifigs. Probably not helped by them having bracelets on both wrists, and of course they don't go all the way round in terms of how Lego do the printing. But I do just think this is absolutely great. We're getting a female pirate, so that's going to come in useful. It's pretty unique to Lego. We've also got that amazing crested cockatoo as the accessory. I think that's really ace. I think I've heard some people say that the hairstyles may be a little too modern, but you know, this is a female pirate. They're not going to be the most conventional things going, so I think that's absolutely fine, and it is just a great hairpiece. So yeah, overall I really like this one. For our penultimate minifig, we get a childless cat lady. Sorry, we're not in the election cycle anymore, so this is the Cat Lover minifig, and again this is a personal favourite of mine along with that Pirate Quartermaster. Really like the torso of this one with the cat themed jersey or jumper as we'd call it back in the UK. but the standout bits for this really are that ball of wool accessory and then the cat. I think that's a Turkish Angora, and it is just perfection. Really, really great. A couple of nice facial expressions. I'm not all that into the lint covered legs, but I suppose it is a fun inclusion. And overall, the minifig plus the accessories are a really solid addition to this series. Last but not least, I'm sure for lots of you, we have the Steampunk Inventor, and this might have the best printing on the torso and legs of any in this series. You can see the gold shining through on his legs just there. I have to say, I'm not a big fan of the actual contraption that he's holding. I think it looks a bit of a hot mess. Overall, I'm actually not a big fan of this one, but it might just be because I'm really not too much into the steampunk aesthetic. Although I have actually probably done the best steampunk themed thing in the world, which is Ruckberg, the section of Phantasialand theme park in Brawl, Germany, near Cologne. Absolutely awesome, one of a kind roller coaster over there. Do check it out if you haven't seen it before. But anyway, back to the minifig. Like I say, I'm probably not the target demographic for this, but I can't deny it is a really good one. It's just not for me personally. Okay, and as we've had a run through of all 12 of the minifigures individually, just for a bit of fun, let's put these into a tier list. So S for the absolute greats, D for the absolute failures. I have to say in advance, I don't think we've got any absolute failures in this series 27 of minifigures, so don't expect me to put any in that tier, but let's do them in order. So starting with number 1, the Hamster Costume Fan. So this runs back to Series 3, Series 4. We had the first costume characters, the guy in the gorilla suit, the lizard suit. I have to say, I don't think this one's super special. Probably my least favourite maybe of all of these. Could use it as a kind of promo for a pet shop or pet store, something like that. But I'm going to actually put that in C tier. It's just not my favourite. Now, I think that the Beastmaster, the Wolfpack Beastmaster, has to go up into the S tier just because of the ability to get all those amazing parts. You're going to be able to do some army building. Plus, we're getting the awesome wolf animal figure as well. After that, we've got the Jetpack Racer. I have to say, don't really see where I'm going to be able to use this personally, but some of the printing and stuff on it is absolutely excellent. This does have to be a B tier. After that, we've got the Astronomer Kid. I'm sure lots of you are going to be really pleased to see the prosthesis that we've got there with her arm. It's also a kid minifigure. I'm tempted, if it was just a minifigure, to put this in C tier, but that awesome telescope and that brand new piece that we've got for the bottom of the telescope puts this up into B tier. Now, the Plush Toy Collector might not be the most special minifigure, but those 2 plush toys are really awesome. I really like the hair here. I'm sure we've seen it in some Ninjago sets, definitely in some Monkey Kid sets, maybe not in that colour, but I actually have a real soft spot for this one. I'm tempted to put it up into S tier, but I think it is an A tier. Nice onesie outfit as well for the minifig. After that, we've got the Pterodactyl Costume Fan. We've had some dinosaur ones before. I think this is really solid. Actually, the face of the minifigs, probably the best bit of this. I'm going to put this into B tier, and I think it's a really solid one at that. Following that, we've got the Longboarder, really useful for cities, etc. I don't think it's anything too special, but new parts. We're getting that longboard, skateboard, really nice hairpiece with the backwards cap. So I think this does have to go up into B. Seems a bit of a theme running here, doesn't it? Lots in the B tier. After that, we've got the Bogeyman, might be called the Boogeyman in the US. I actually not a big fan. I thought that this was going to be one of those ones which had an actual minifig head and it was putting on the mask over the top. This is actually the mask is, but the head is the head. Also don't think it's necessarily appropriate that it's got the book. I always think of the Bogeyman, the Boogeyman, as being kind of an oral history, something you tell kids around the campfire, something like that. I don't think it's really written about in books too much, but it is really nice to get those bits. I just personally don't rate this one too highly. I'm sure some of you are going to think it's absolutely awesome. This is just a C tier for me. Similarly, the Cupid. I think it's a really cool one in terms of for Valentine's, etc. Just don't necessarily see how often you're going to be able to use this. It's really nice to get those new set of wings, though. The bow, of course, we've had plenty of times before. Not sure if we've had it in red, but again, just not super special for me. This one goes into C tier. Now, the Pirate Quartermaster. I really like this one. Some of the print isn't quite as good as it maybe should be. I don't know if that's by design or not. Just seems a little bit muddy to me, which is probably appropriate for pirates. But we are getting a female pirate. The hairpiece is awesome. The cockatoo is absolutely great. I was almost tempted to put this into A tier, but just the print's not being quite as on point as I'd like puts this down into B tier. After that, we've got the cat lover or the crazy cat lover. Great facial expressions. The ball of wool, brand new bit. Just an awesome torso piece, and the cat is absolutely fantastic as well. I'm putting this straight up into A tier. Don't think it quite gets into S tier, although the cat nearly puts it there. Finally, we've got the Steampunk Inventor. It's just not one that I particularly like, but I do have to say that the printing on both the legs and torso is absolutely on point. Really, really sharp. I don't like the accessory. It just looks a bit of a mess to me. I can see why he's ended up with that metal arm. Maybe the steam's come out and burned his arm off. I'm going to put this into B tier. I think I'm tempted for C tier, but I think it's been executed so well. I just personally am not a massive fan myself. Let me know what you think, whether I've got that completely wrong. I'm sure some of you are going to have that Steampunk Inventor way higher. The Bogeyman maybe as well. Maybe I've been a bit too kind on some of the others. Maybe you don't think that Plush Toy Collector is great at all. I think we can all agree that the Beastmaster, the Wolfpack Beastmaster, is absolutely fantastic and is going to be highly desired for years to come. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. The tier list was a bit of fun there at the end. This is the first time I've ever got a full set of the minifigs, so I do need to find some way of displaying them. So if you've got any ideas, any YouTube videos or Instagrammers that have got great ways of displaying a set of minifigs, then please do let me know in the comments below. I'll be really appreciated, and maybe I'll come up with my own kind of thing and do a quick post or video about it. I'm actually really keen on that telescope with the Telescope Kid. I think that can go straight up onto the rooftop of one of my buildings. She might fit really well on the supermarket one just there. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, then please do leave a like. It really helps get this out to a few more people. If you're not subscribed and would like to see a bit more content, then hit the subscribe button too. And with that, I'll leave you and say, as always, be good.